Welcome to episode 70 of Tech of a Tea. I'm, as always, your host, Brodie Robertson, and it has been a very long time since I've played the intro music. We're back with another episode with Connor, and I actually did spell your name correctly for once on the overlay. So I didn't spell it with an O at the end. I don't
That's
know.
a round of applause required.
I know it's only been 10 times since you've been on here, and I've maybe got it right twice.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Now explain this sea urchin.
Sea urchin. It's just a sea urchin. I found it on the beach.
Oh, you just found it on the beach. You're just like, I'm gonna pick that up.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it looks cool. It was together and I was playing with it and it just snapped because it's a bit fragile, but like, it looks pretty snazzy.
So that's all you have of it, just that little bit.
Yeah, I don't have like the rest of
You
it.
didn't find like a full intact sea urchin that's just like sitting on your desk.
No. I'm sorry to disappoint, but I
Okay.
didn't.
Well, because we're
I do have some other relics on my desk though.
Oh.
I got some different rocks. I got
Rocks, lovely.
this is like an egg thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they're technically crystals. I don't know what this one is, but it's like a kind of metallic-y. This is a blue one.
Blue one is that the scientific term for it?
Yeah, it's the blue one, bro. I got some obsidian.
Oh, that's cool. I know that one.
Yeah, it's a obsidian arrowhead. That's pretty fun to muck around with. I don't know what this one is, but
Do you just have a bunch of rocks on your table?
Yeah.
Okay.
This one is also a crystal, but it just looks like glass. But it's like designed to sit in your palm.
Huh.
And then this one's cool. I think it's like called a tiger eye or something. But like when you move it, the pattern changes. Due to the light.
I feel like that would look much cooler if your camera didn't look horrible because of Jitsi right now.
Yes. And I'm not sure what this one is. I found this one when I found the sea urchin, but it's just like it's probably a bit of quartz or something. But I just like the patterns of it.
Huh. Because we're doing show and tell. I've got this here. This is also like ignore that on there. It's just like a bit of paper that's merged into it. There's the camera. I'm not sure what it is. I'm using it as a coaster though. Yes.
This looks like a rock.
It's a rock. It's a red rock.
It's a red reflective rock.
Oh, it's also been what's the word? Lacquered.
Polished.
Not lacquered. No.
Oh, lacquered.
Clear lacquer. I'm sure someone who understands workshop words will know what you would actually put on a rock like that. Actually, I do haven't. Wait. Entertain people for like 2 seconds. I've got another fun thing. I don't know, talk about rocks or something.
Have one more. I do have one more rock that I didn't show off. This one's a bit bigger. I'm not exactly. This is like the kind of rock that you'd skim along the water if it was a bit flatter, but it's quite heavy. Like you wouldn't think it would be that heavy, but it is. It's quite a dense material and it's smooth. I like that rock as well. That's my rock collection though.
Oh, I messed it up. Okay, well. I saw black rounded rock.
Yeah, it basically was a black rounded rock.
This one isn't a rock, but it's a sheep skull.
Oh.
Yeah. my stepdad.
Was that a finders keepers or was that?
Yeah. So my stepdad owned, or I guess owned a sheep farm.
A sheep?
No, a sheep farm. He owned sheep. Then we'll see what's left of them. But he owned a sheep farm before he sold it off. That was just one of the skulls that I found laying on the ground. Because when you're you own a farm, not all of the animals end up surviving. Some get I don't know how they die in a farm. Maybe not having water or something. I don't know. And that was just on the ground. And I was like, I'm gonna take that. That's mine now. And my mum was like, why? It's like, I don't know. I just want to take it. That's the end of the story.
Item, obviously. Lovely story.
Why am I not going to take the sheep skull just sitting on the ground? Surely that seems like a very sanitary idea.
Sanitation, germ theory, that's for peasants, honestly.
Look, it was before Rona. We don't need to worry about it. Germs didn't exist before Rona.
Exactly. I do have a tea. This is a Twinings Sleepy Tea. I just found it in my random box of tea bags. On the other side it says, "Time to chase your dreams."
Wow.
I thought that was quite beautiful. I haven't tasted it yet.
Give us the verdict.
It's nice. It's very floral, very herby.
I want you to
think I
come
read
onto
on
the
the
podcast
back.
with the tea that's just like absolute shit and you have no idea about it.
Well, I'm pretty sure I read on the packet that it said it has like orange tree leaves in it or some shit.
I don't know what.
I'd have had some teas that were like, I'm pretty sure I told you I got like a big T2 box given to me.
Yeah,
of, like,
I think you've mentioned that.
20 or 30 different teas, and like some of those, they were a little bit iffy.
I think the only tea I've had that I just didn't like was a honey and chamomile tea.
Yeah.
It just...
I think I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, like chamomile by itself is fine, but I don't know what the deal is with just sticking honey in it. That just makes it worse. I'm not a big fan of, like, sweet teas anyway. So that might just be part of it.
You know about sweet tea, just about the herbal teas.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Herbal teas. I've got some random ass topics on here. I've got one fun one here about young people being stupid. That should be fun.
Alright, sure, fire away.
Throw it your way. Here you go. So Snapchat had a speed filter, which obviously is going to be used for very safe things. Basically, so there's a couple of things that have happened with this one. Previously, people thought that if you went like above a certain speed, you'd get like an achievement in Snapchat. Which, the fact that anyone thought that was mind-numbingly stupid. But this story in particular was about people basically using the filter to show off how fast they were going, which I don't know how Snapchat didn't think would happen. Like, what did they think was going to, like, that was actually going to be used for?
Bro, check me out. I'm doing 200 down the highway.
Let's see. The app introduced... Oh, I don't care about... Wait. The app introduced in 2013 has been linked to several deadly or near-fatal car crashes, many of which involve teens. The company has faced lawsuits... Okay. Yep. Do they have the specific reason in here besides people were just going fast? No, I think people were just going fast. Okay, look. If Snapchat adds if any of these, like, social media sites add something that is going to be used to, like, build up clout, I wouldn't be surprised if people are going to go abuse it to do something really, really dumb.
It's always, classic saying, where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, man. Where there's a wheel to crash into a tree, there's absolutely a way to do it.
Bro, I saw my Fast and Furious idol do that. I want to do it as well.
Oh, speaking of that,
is that too soon?
No, it's been when did he die? Let's find out.
I mean, I gotta be honest, I didn't really care when it did happen, but I'm
2013. Fuck, that was a long time ago. Really? Wait, 2013? Wow, I thought it was much more recent than that. I've entirely lost track of time, apparently. Like, even, like, before I'd left uni, I guess I just had no concept of what time even was anymore. But have you been keeping up with the Fast and Furious series?
I don't think I've seen a singular one.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
How? Wait, how?
What do you mean how? I just haven't watched any of
It's
them.
such a great franchise, though. What do you mean you haven't seen it? Like, not
But
even the
is
first
it
one.
actually? No, I haven't.
I don't know if I've met anyone that hasn't seen the Fast and Furious series, but I might also just be around bogans all the time.
Yeah, I reckon that's probably what it is.
Mmm. Really, not even the first one. Not at all.
No, no.
That's a sad life to live.
Sad life.
Yeah,
Oh my
man.
god.
It, look, how could you not enjoy your car racing series that turns into, hey, I'm gonna send a car into fucking space?
Look, I'm not saying like I can't judge if it's good or not because I
Hmm.
haven't seen it, but like yeah, I just haven't watched it. I'm deeply sorry. Please, I repent for my sin.
You've deeply offended me here by not knowing the way of the Fast and the Furious.
No, I guess we're just gonna have to end the podcast now then.
Absolutely. Uh, well, I mentioned that because I'm sure you know like how the names have like gotten shorter and shorter as the series has gone on.
I think so.
Okay, yeah. Okay, good. Because if you didn't know that, I would ruin what I was trying to say. So it went from like the Fast and the Furious to Fast and Furious. Then over time, we got to like, there was like Fast 8. And then the ninth movie is just called F9. They just don't even care anymore. People know what it's going to be. That makes
It's
me
just not
sad.
gonna be a title for the next one. It's
It,
just gonna be the poster.
yeah, it's just a picture of Vin Diesel. Like, you know what it is. No need to tell you. Actually, it's kind of like with Jason Statham movies. Like, you know, every movie that Jason Statham is going to be basically the same movie. They're just all like, hey, here is a generic action movie 1001. Enjoy. And you'll probably enjoy. Wait, do you actually watch action movies? That's the question.
I mean, I don't not watch action
Mm-hmm.
movies. I haven't really seen a lot of movies recently. I've been like more on the TV show of
Mm.
TV show of being a consumer.
What have you been watching?
Um,
Now, when you're on this one,
uh,
you have no idea what you've been
no,
watching.
no, no, no. There was I watched the new season of Master of None. That's a good show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't. I would doubt you would have seen it, but
I
that's
no, I've been watching no TV. I'm just trying to keep a conversation going. Master of
yes.
None. It is a comedy drama. Uh-huh. Tell me what this is about. Give me
It's
the deets.
basically just about this guy that just lives in New York and just like I don't know, just random stories. It's not really like a. It's more like a kind of. It's almost like an anthology kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like each episode is very different from one another, although it's still just like the same guy, and yeah, just kind of follows. And then in season two, he like moves to Italy to learn how to make pasta.
Sure, okay. I'm sure that would make sense if I had any idea what was going on.
Yeah, but I recommend that one. I I said I've been watching TV shows, but
Mm.
uh, the new Bo Burnham special that's very good.
The
It's
name
called Inside.
that's ringing a bell. I haven't seen it, but I think I've seen someone talking about it. Let's see. Uh, no, I definitely haven't seen it. But is it good?
Yes, it is. It is very good.
Recorded in
It's
his home during the Rona 19 pandemic without a crew or audience, it was released on Netflix on May 30th. Huh.
for like something all done by one person. It
Mm.
looks really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Like just cinematography wise and just like Um, so he does like musical comedy stuff. So like the majority of his like um s- special thing
Mm-hmm.
is just like songs.
Right, right.
Um, compared to like how a normal stand up would be, where it's like either all talking or just like majority talking or like a song or two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, his previous ones are like just like pretty much all songs, but they are actual like recorded in front of audiences.
Right,
But
right, right.
this one isn't, but it's still like very good.
The whole comedy thing with no audience always sort of confused me. Like, I know there's a lot of comedians doing the like the online shows, but
Mm.
I think a lot of what comes with comedy is having. It's the same thing with sport. Like when you have like an empty stadium, it doesn't have the same sort of energy that you get from having like a big crowd of people all enjoying the same thing.
Yeah, well, that's like one of the topics that he like explores a lot within that, like how weird it is doing like a comedy special and just like doing jokes and songs and stuff when there's no one like yeah there's no one there to react to it.
Because like even if you drop like an absolute banger of a joke in an empty room, it would just be dead silence,
Hmm.
and that would just be strange. And you know, like also you get a lot of shows you have interaction with the hecklers, and if you're a good comedian, you can sort of turn that into a part of your bit.
Yeah, exactly. And he does that in his two previous specials. Yeah, it's just really interesting, like because he has three live ones and then the one that's the new one. And it's really interesting just seeing like because the three previous ones are all I think they're all about 3 years apart, and then this one is like about 5 years after
Right.
the last one, and so yeah, like seeing the jump in between each of them in like quality and stuff is really interesting.
I don't think I've actually watched anybody's comedy special. The only comedy I've seen is like in person,
Yeah,
with the exception of like clips of some comedians I've seen online. But those are clips of when they were doing live shows. So you don't get the same level of, I guess, audience energy, but you still have like something there.
yeah.
Effectively acts as like a laugh track that actually applies to things that are funny, not just what Big Bang Theory does when it's just like laugh track after like every fucking sentence.
Yeah. Well, there's like there are like Big Bang's really bad with doing that, but there's like a lot of shows that with laugh tracks
Sort
that
of rely on the laugh track to make it funny.
yeah, but like something like even Seinfeld is really like Seinfeld is really ahead of its time in a lot of aspects, but when it comes to laugh track, I'm pretty sure they only had it in there because that was like the standard at the time. But like there's barely ever any times where it's just like they allow room for the laugh track to well for, it's an actual audience in that anyway, but yeah, there's like they don't give that time just for the audience to laugh. Like it's basically like a show without it. Like they continue it on, which is I mean how you should do it if you are gonna have a live audience.
No, basically just hold up a sign saying "This is funny time. Laugh now.
Ha
Enjoy."
ha 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 ha
Ha
ha
ha ha ha ha.
ha ha.
I, yeah, that's definitely true. There's a lot of, but I think there's more that sort of rely on it as a crutch rather than, you know, actually using it as a tool, or you know, in that case, trying to just avoid it altogether.
Yeah.
On that note, have you actually seen? There's a video. There's a couple of videos out there. Big Bang Theory without the laugh track.
Yeah, I have like it's just like 5 to 10 second breaks in between them talking.
Yeah, that's. I think that's what makes it so weird. Big Bang Theory could be like a perfectly watchable show without the laugh track, but because they designed it all around there being the laugh track, there's always just these like really weird, awkward silences without it.
Yeah, it's not comparable to how people actually talk.
Because there's no times when they actually, at least none that I can think of, where they have the laugh track really running over what someone's trying to say.
No, it's always like tell joke, laugh track, next line, tell joke, laugh
Joke.
track.
It's questionable whether they're actually jokes.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
I can't think of too many sitcoms I've actually really watched. Like, I'm not generally a big fan of them. Basically because of that reason. Like, I've certainly watched them in the past. Like, I've watched most of How I Met Your Mother and things like that, but I don't generally go out of my way to watch them.
Well, yeah, and sitcoms now don't really have laugh tracks anymore. Um, but yeah, I don't think I've watched a whole lot. I've watched Seinfeld and Friends. They're like the two really big ones.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I've watched them all the way through. I've watched Seinfeld through like 10 or more times. Like, really like that show. But yeah, I'm not sure if I've watched any of the other like classic ones or not.
Well, yeah, I've watched those ones, and then like the modern classics, like How I Met Your Mother and things like that. But I have no idea like what exists in the sitcom world at this point. Like, I can only imagine that they're not great.
Oh, I know One Family is technically a sitcom, and
Oh yeah, I've watched that.
that's pretty enjoyable. I like that, and yeah, that doesn't rely on laugh track, and that's still like actually funny.
Speaking of shit TV, my housemate, I don't know why, she watches Home and Away.
Oh, lovely.
And that's one of those shows that you can just like pop your head into like every couple of years and you understand everything that's going on because nothing's ever happening. Like I think once a year, they do their like story arc. Like, oh, someone is in a car crash. Someone's going to prison. Oh, someone's got cancer now. And that's the only thing that ever happens. And they always like hype it up whenever like any big thing is going to happen. Because that's when the season finale happens. But apart from that, it's just like, oh yeah, we're just like going to hang out on the beach, hang out in the cafe. Whoa, this is super exciting, super fun.
I can't believe, like, just thinking of how unfulfilling writing for that show must be. Like, say you're like a new person, you're like, oh, let's actually do something interesting with it, and then you're just like, no, Stacy 27 has to have a near miss. A near miss with a car, and she's all shaken up for the episode.
I think that and also Neighbours do exist for like a good reason. Because they give new Australian actors like a way to, step into the acting world, step into like an actual production. Like a lot of really big Australian actors started on Neighbours and Home and Away, but apart from that, it's a fucking horribly boring show. It's just that it has so many viewers because of when it airs. It airs when people are eating dinner, and there's nothing else on TV at that point. So if you're watching TV, you're probably watching Home and Away and Neighbours.
Yeah, it just like it astounds me that there's people though that actually enjoy that stuff.
Imagine going back to the start. Actually, how old is which one's older, Home and Away or Neighbours? Imagine going all the way back to the start and watching it.
There's like literally thousands of episodes.
Well, it comes out. Is it how many episodes? Oh, okay, yeah, it comes out once a day, doesn't it? Like you get it like 5 times a week or something stupid. Neighbours so it's been going since 1985. There is 8,641 episodes. Jesus. So yeah, it comes out 5 times a week.
There's a British soap drama that I think has gone for 10,000 episodes. It's ridiculous.
Like, it would be one thing if anything ever happened, but like when you have that much content coming out, you just can't make an interesting show. It has to just be boring, mundane shit. Like you cannot actually come up with that much content that quickly.
Something that's actually compelling.
Mm.
Yeah, you don't have time to like write the kind of
Yeah, just no
intricacies.
time to write.
They're just like writing the show as they're filming. They're like, oh fuck.
I honestly wonder how much of that show is just improv.
I mean, probably a good part of it would have to be. Yeah, It wouldn't be surprising if they didn't actually write a lot of it. They kind of just like went off of dot points, which is like basically what I do in my videos. So it works, and for something of that quality, like I wouldn't be surprised if that's like what they had to do.
Well, when the level of dialogue is just like, hey, what do you want to go get for lunch? Oh, you want to go down to the cafe? Oh, yeah, let's go to the cafe. When that's your dialogue, like, you don't really need a script. You just, like, need to tell them, like, okay, what is your objective? And just get there. And this is how much time you have. Go to cafe because plot progression happens here. By plot progression, I mean, I don't know, someone's gonna see you with a girl while you've got a girlfriend, and that's gonna be the big drama of the week. Oh,
scandalous.
Oh, you're like talking to people while yeah, wow. That's
I saw you with Rebecca at the cafe.
Actually, that's too much drama for Home and Away and Neighbours. Like, that's too much. That'll take like 3 months to resolve.
That's the season finale.
I wonder how, okay.
Is Jonathan walking out of Neighbours?
Well, they do have to kind of like frequently kill people off, because when someone actually does show the fact that they're actually a good actor, usually they're just going to go get another job. You have obviously the exceptions of people who like never leave Neighbours and never leave Home and Away. The people who've been there like since the show has started. But apart from those people, everyone else is just like, well, I'm just going to use this to get a better job.
Can't believe you disrespecting
an Aussie
Neighbours.
Icon.
Yeah.
One of the guys in my Discord also disrespected an Aussie Icon. He spelt Steve Irwin's last name with an E.
Irwin. I mean, it technically, like, would make the same noise.
Would.
It's just bad. It's just English's fault for having letters that make the same noises.
English is one of the, it is a very messy language, that's for sure. After starting to learn Japanese, I realized that English is a fucking train wreck. Because with Japanese, you have a very set number of sounds, and those are the only sounds that can exist in the language. Anything else, it's fine, we ignore it. That's why you get, people who try to learn English when they're Japanese having, like, really weird accents, because, like, an L sound, like L, does not exist in that language altogether. It sounds closer to an R. L. I don't know why we spent like 10 minutes talking about Neighbours.
What? That's not my fault, I swear. Alright, I got something for you. You see this sloth?
I see the sloth, yes.
So I've been hiding a little secret over the past 8 podcasts.
What? Are you turning my podcast into your channel?
Yes.
Okay.
This sloth alternates from purple to pink. And so if you go back to the past 8, including this one of them, I think this one is a 0, and the purple one is a 1, and in binary it reads out 46.
Why? Why? What are you doing?
I don't know, but like on some of the other weeks. That's why I would take so long, is because I was going back through the old episodes trying to make sure I had the right color slot.
I fucking hate you. Why 46 of all numbers?
Because 46 is like the number from my videos.
Okay.
It pops up a lot.
Does it? Okay.
And it's hidden in a lot of places. There's literally a video called the 46th floor, so...
Is there?
Yeah.
I guess I just don't pay enough attention to your channel. What do you... Oh, fucking hell. I hate you. Yeah, okay, I see it. The 46th floor original
I've
color.
hijacked your channel.
Well, that's the end of the saga then. Nothing, no reason for you to come back now that you've done that.
Yeah, I'm all done.
Oh my god. Is that the only hidden message you've put onto my channel?
Yeah, that's the only one.
I thought you would have, I don't know, tried to hide something somewhere else. Maybe like, I don't know, something with your clothes or something.
Oh god.
Maybe
no,
like the way your hair is arranged.
That's too far. Although I'm pretty sure there probably is some stupid shit that's that detailed within my actual videos that no one's ever gonna get.
Okay. Well, is that all you want to say about that?
Yeah, I thought I'd just mention it.
Okay. Well, what other TV shows have you been watching now that you've made that revelation?
Other TV shows. Let me just like
bring up your Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. Right,
okay. Okay, I can see your hands. Look at those hairy hands.
Yeah, look at these hands, bro.
I don't know how to entertain people for a couple of seconds.
I have been playing stuff as well. I've been playing a lot of Sims.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sims 3, not 4 though.
Okay, I was gonna say I haven't played 4.
No, I have number 4, but like it wasn't installed when I started playing. So like I downloaded it, but I'm like, I've already gone so far with this one. Oh, Netflix is being dodgy. It's not showing my continue watching. How am I meant to know what I've been watching, bro?
So we can talk about Sims. Why are you playing Sims? You just bored out of your mind?
No, it's just like you just get this calling to come play Sims like once every 2 years.
Sure, okay.
Same with Minecraft. You just like once a year, you're like, oh, I just have to play Minecraft for a week straight.
Didn't the caves update come out for that one? They like split caves into 2 updates.
Yeah, I think it finally came out.
Let's see. Minecraft Caves came out 2 weeks ago. Huh. Okay.
Still intend on. I need to play that.
What, play the Caves update?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should honestly. I've had people ask me to go and actually play some Minecraft on my channel, on like my gaming channel. It would be fun. I don't. When did I last play Minecraft? I think I was in high school.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's what? So like, fuck. How old am I now? I'm 23. So like 6 years ago, something like that.
23. Oh, that's a lift. Imagine being 23. I'll hang down here at 22. Thank you.
All right, you're a little younger than me, aren't you? Yeah, because I took my gap year and then went to uni, so I'm kind of older than most of the people, except for those like random people that were at uni who were like in their 40s.
It's like, what's up?
I don't know if you ever met this guy, but in first year, there was a guy, I think he was like in his 60s, and he was starting his software engineering degree.
I think I did meet him once. He didn't stick around though, did
No.
he?
I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he was just bored?
Just having like a third life, not half life crisis, 3/4 life crisis.
But I can sort of get that. Like, if you're sort of getting to the end of your career, I can see why you might want to see like a shift like that happen. Or maybe he had already retired and it was just like, I'm going to go back to uni because I have nothing to do now.
Maybe. So something to do.
There were so many people who came through that degree who just didn't stick around.
Yeah, I remember a lot of people in first year that just like disappeared.
A lot of these people I did speak to, and they all had very similar reasons for being there. Like, their parents knew they played video games, therefore they can go make video games.
Mm-hmm.
It's not how that works. Or like, they're on the computer all the time, therefore they should go be a programmer. Like, if you
Obviously.
were
Obviously.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. It works for some people. Like, I've always had like a sort of tinkerer mindset, so it sort of makes sense in my case. But if you just like, wasting time on a computer, that's a very, very different sort of person.
Yeah, I guess for me, I'm like a fairly decent problem solver, and so that that lends itself very well into coding and programming. But yeah, just like, oh, my son's playing too much Call of Duty on the PlayStation. I reckon I'll send him off to study IT.
That surprisingly though, some of them did get past first year.
Who would this be?
Well, Aiden's one of them.
Getting past first year for him is like not really.
I don't know if he ever graduated.
No, I think he's still there. I think
Still playing Smash.
I talked to Nick like a month or two ago, and yeah, apparently Aiden's one of the last people standing.
He's just there with the new first years. Like, yes, I've been here for 7 years.
Hello, fellow children. I'm still studying IT fundamentals.
And it's not like he ever went part-time or anything to make it take a long time like Andrew did. No, he's just failing again and again and again. Whether he's even taking classes at this point, I don't know.
he's just loitering around the campus.
I do feel bad for him, but he sort of did bring it on himself.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad, but like, yeah, at the same time, it's kind of like, well, you did put yourself in that situation. Not much that I can do about it.
Like, people would help him from time to time. He just didn't really want to help himself. That was, I think, sort of like one of the big thing with a lot of people who end up dropping out. Like, they would sometimes they even ask for help, but when you go to help them, they'd sort of expect you to sort of do everything for them.
Yeah, they weren't willing to learn it from your help.
Which, look, at the end of the day, like, you can help people, but if they're not willing to help themselves, like, you can't really get much further than that.
I'll tell you what, I have learned that lesson time and time again.
Yeah, I made the mistake of... What are you fucking doing?
I'm looking at my obsidian through with the light shining through it. It looks cool. Because it's like very slightly transparent, so it actually looks really cool. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, I learned... So I think it sort of took me to my like second or my third year to realize, like, just stop helping everyone. Like, in first year, if anyone asked me for like programming help or anything, I would be more than willing to help. And something like, well, I don't remember what his name was. There was a guy who like messaged everyone on Facebook trying to get them.
Boy, a gosh.
Yeah, a gosh. Yes.
Praise up for a gosh.
Like, message everyone trying to get help from them, but I would spend time helping him. But I realized, like, that's just... You can't do that for everyone. And some people are just sort of a lost cause.
Yeah, like... this is going to be really mean. And I kind of feel bad, but, like, like, because I think he genuinely really wanted to try it and was actually trying, but I just don't think he was smart enough for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are people that just aren't smart enough to do that kind of degree.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds shitty to say, but it's just like the truth. And so I reckon that was what was happening with his case.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I'd tell him stuff, and he wouldn't be the type of person that's like, oh, can you do it for me? Like, I'd genuinely give him help, and he'd be like, yeah, thank you so much. And he'd come back to me with something, like, entirely wrong. I'm like, dude, no, this isn't how it works.
Like, it's one thing to be really confused in, like, your first semester if you've never done any programming before. Like, I remember back when even though I had done programming, I didn't do it properly. I don't, like, what I knew from programming was sort of what I'd learned hacking around with Java in my high school class. So I went into uni having sort of this real sketchy knowledge. I didn't understand, like, how to get things out of an array. And once you got it out of an array, like, how could you use it? Like, these aren't named like variables. How do I use it? Like, that doesn't make sense. Then, you know, obviously it clicks at some point that you can use array indexes, things like that. But once you've sort of got that foundational knowledge, then if you actually have the ability to get through that degree, you should be able to take that knowledge and sort of apply it to different tasks. And there were people who just couldn't do that.
Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day, like how data structures is considered such a hard course to do. I think that's because you have to, like, because you're kind of like taught, at least in first year, like, or first semester when you're first learning it, like, you're taught to think kind of just in terms of like the actual code and each line and stuff. But past that, so especially when you start learning object oriented and like, yeah, data structures, you have to like think a lot more visually and like actually imagine the kind of like, yeah, the visual metaphors there are for these lines of code. And I think people really struggled with that, but I found it quite easy to pick up just because I already thought in a very visual way. But I think, yeah, there's a lot of people that struggled because that's not how they see stuff in their head.
Data structures, it was a difficult course if you tried to do everything in your head. Like, say, like, I think what was there was an assignment on linked lists, binary trees. I think the second one was also on binary trees, doing like A star or something. That
No,
sounds
the first one was all linked lists, like single and double. I forget what they're called, but like how one only goes forward
you never
and how
write your
one
own
goes
linked list.
forward
You
and
just
back.
use a library for it. Yeah.
But yeah, the second one was trees and use the different kind of algorithms to search them. I don't remember what the third assignment was.
I vaguely recall it was also binary trees, and you were doing like A star searches and stuff.
Maybe.
I think second assignment was making the tree, and you were given the search algorithms, and then third one you'd like make the algorithm
That
yourself and
sounds
give them the tree.
vaguely familiar.
I know there was definitely A star in there somewhere.
Yeah.
The other thing that didn't really help with, okay, this is sort of a problem I have with a lot of the degree. There was a lot of stuff that wasn't really taught. I think what really hurts the degree a lot is the fact that it relies almost exclusively on external resources. Like, you could do that entire degree not paying a cent. Just, like, go to, like, free code camp and get the exact same content.
Yeah, like I especially just like being pointed to a textbook. I know for me, I just fucking turn off the instant I start reading a textbook, and so like I never I never bought a textbook, but after first year, I just stopped like downloading them and reading them. I was like, I'm not getting anything from this. This is just like putting me to sleep. Like,
I don't know what sorry.
I was just gonna say, I think that's a definite like just weakness
Mm.
of the course is just like being pointed towards a textbook instead of trying to explain that better or using like little small assignment examples or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about textbooks. Like, let's see what I've got down here. I've got I think one, not one for the course, for the degree. One that I bought because it's actually just a good book.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, I actually do have a textbook here. Here we go. So, here is a copy of Effective C++. Not a good book.
That cover though.
Yeah, I know. Like, look at that. There's like fucking eagles on there. They're shit eagles. They're shit American eagles. But yeah. Then we have a fucking phone book. This is Code Complete.
Oh jeez.
That's actually a good book. I highly recommend this one. It is 900 pages long. God. Both these books, even though I do think they are relatively better than, like reading, what was the Java book we had? Absolute Java?
Yeah, something like that.
That is, it puts you to sleep. At least those ones do a better job at like sort of trying to keep you engaged with the content. But at the end of the day, like we'd be given like, sometimes the chapters would be like 15 pages long, and that would take me like 3 hours to read.
I know. For is IT Fundamentals? Is that the Java course?
No, IT Fundamentals was Adam's first course.
That's right. What is the Java course called?
Programming Fundamentals.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't know if they still. I think they've changed stuff up now. There's a lot more Python in the degree now, but yeah, that was the one we did.
Yeah, I remember on the train ride to uni, I'd be like, fuck, I was meant to read 15 pages of this. I just like skim through it. I'm like, bro, this is just going to be on your lectures, just your lecture slides. Like, fucking Stuart's 3-hour fucking lecture where he doesn't say anything for half the time and be like, oh, if you don't attend the lecture, you're not learning.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. I realized after first year, going to lectures was the dumbest thing. Like, there was no reason to do so. I showed up for a couple of them in final year, in the IT project, just because they cared that you showed up. But besides that, you got all of the exact same content just watching it online.
Yeah. I would only show up to lectures if I had other stuff on during the day.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I ain't going to Doug's lecture at Wednesday on 9 a.m. if that's the only thing I have.
Yeah, I had a cloud. I think I showed it to my cloud programming one in third year just because I had a class directly afterwards. I think it was the cloud programming prac or something. It's like, I might as well be here.
I don't know. I don't even remember the lectures for that. I just remember that course was fucking garbage.
Cloud programming. Actually, I can check my grades. Let's find out. How did I do?
Cloud programming was the Amazon Web Services course.
Yes,
wasn't it?
yes, it was.
Yeah, that was garbage.
The one where I was working with Ben. Yes, Ben is Fisher? Fishman?
Ben Fish.
I think it was Ben Fisher. I don't know. I can't remember his name. But
he will be herefore known as Ben Fish.
Ben Fish. Bend over fish. That was the course where he got a 1,000. Oh no, I can't log in because it needs. Right, they sent me an email like 3 weeks ago to update my password and I just didn't do it. What was I saying? Right. That was the class where he got $1,000 bill from AWS because our teammate decided to have like a job in AWS that like constantly spun up new servers. It's like, stop.
Yeah,
Stop
I
doing
remember
that.
that.
I think I got a C in that class, and that was my only class where I got a C.
I reckon I also got a credit for that.
Hmm.
It's just like such a bizarre course. Just like the assignments didn't really like half of that course wasn't it just using a VM on Linux?
Yeah, it wasn't even a cloud course for the most of it. It was just like Linux fundamentals.
Yeah. And we already did that in the fucking other course where we learned
There
like all the
was
Unix commands and stuff.
the Git course that I don't remember the name of either.
Yeah.
Um, what was that one called? Um, but that one you also did like write some. Didn't you have to write like 2 research papers or something, or 2 short papers?
You just have to do one research paper.
Hmm. No, the Git one, not the cloud one.
Yeah, the Git one, you did one research
Did
paper
you?
and then
Okay. I must be remembering it wrong.
yeah.
You also oh no, that one you had the programming assignment where it was just like use Git and the people in my group just didn't know at all what they were doing. Like they didn't even know like some of the people in my group didn't even know Java. And
Oh.
'cause all you had to do, I think it was just like do some basic maths or something like that, and they just could not work it out. They compiled code that, or they submitted code that just wouldn't compile. I was like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, there was like this small list of dot points of stuff you had to do in this Java program. Like you could literally, I'm pretty sure me and Josh and our teammate, we literally did it in a day.
Well, there was like 10 minutes of work to do.
Yeah, exactly, and just like making sure you just fucking send it all to your GitHub or whatever.
Yeah, because the main requirement was like showing that you know how to like use remotes and make pull requests and things like that. That's
Yeah,
pretty much
and
it.
how to commit properly.
Hmm. I'm looking at the list of courses right now. A lot of them sound similar to what we did. Uh so design thinking and digital innovation was replaced with design thinking studio, which I'm sure is the exact same class.
Bro, fancy name.
Mate, I love design thinking and digital innovation. What a great class that was. Don't you enjoy making documents and prototypes out of paper?
I like fucking you like journaling every week about like something so dry that it's not worth journaling about.
Who did you do that class with? Like, who was in your group?
I had a group of one other person, and his name was also Brodie.
Oh,
He was really nice, and we got on super well, and we did our work properly. But he dropped out after the second semester.
okay. I was gonna say I know another Brodie, but I guess it's a different person.
No, that Brodie you're thinking of would be someone else.
I had a really good group actually. Okay, I had a really good group with one person who's fucking lazy. My group was Sam and Jai, and you know, Jai, absolutely
Know
great
how it
work when he
be.
decides to work. Doesn't decide to work a lot.
I remember I had a DTDI class. Like mine was like, I think we might have been in the same one. I don't remember.
Yeah,
But
no,
I think
I think
it
we
went
were.
from like 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I had that class on my birthday. I'm like, what a fucking fun way to spend my day. I'm pretty sure I had like a full day of uni, and that was at the end of it. I'm like, wow, happy fucking birthday to me, and then I have to go ride home for an hour.
That was such a. I don't know why they ever decided to put classes at that time. That's such a rough time for a class. None of the lecturers want to be there. No one wants to be there at that time.
Literally, no one wants to be there.
It's not like the other classes were booked out or anything. Like they could have had it like 2 hours earlier. Nope.
Yeah,
Nope.
I have no idea what they were thinking.
Or like the IT project and the software engineering project are the same lecture, so you would have had that one at 5 as well, wouldn't you? The final year stuff.
Yeah, I had. It was definitely at a later time. that those lectures were like
There was nothing. There was no content.
the like it had there was two lectures that had anything to do with the actual course, and the rest of it was like, here's how to not be racist.
I only had to do
Like,
2 of those classes in person. The other ones were online.
oh, that's good then.
But yeah, I do remember that one. They had they had the Aboriginal guy come in to talk about why you're a bad person and why you should not hate Aboriginal people. Then they had someone come in later to say like you shouldn't hate women, and it's like, what is this? What are you doing in this class? Like, I already don't hate these people. Like, why are we doing this?
The only thing of interest I got from the Aboriginal one was I really liked the map of all the different subcultures or whatever. I found that really fascinating. But the rest of the shit that he showed us was so. It didn't even apply just to like Aboriginal people. It was just like how to be a good person in customer service.
Yeah.
Don't use jargon. Don't belittle the person. Like that's not just applicable to that. That's applicable to everyone, and everyone already knows that. The people that don't know that aren't going to learn from this thing. They're already in 3rd year of uni. They should have picked that up by now, and they're not going to pick it up from this boring ass lecture.
Well, in the prior to design thinking and digital innovation existing, that class was Aboriginal studies because they
Really?
had nothing to put there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so the guys before us, because they rotate the degree every 4 years, the guys before us did Aboriginal studies in that class.
That's groovy.
Yep, I don't know why, but that's the thing that happened. Let's see. Second semester looks basically the same. Programming Fundamentals is now called Object-Oriented Programming, which is honestly a much better name.
Yeah.
Data-Driven Web Technologies, which is Doug's course. That's
That's a good course.
Web. What was it called? Web. What the fuck was it called?
Web dev.
Was it just called? Oh, it was called Web Development, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that course.
Yeah. Well, I like Doug. Doug's just cool dude.
Yeah. But also just like the assignments on that, like taking a database and putting all of those things on, like taking the database using something or other, I don't remember what it's called, and just like having that all be displayed on your website. Like, I don't know, when I did that, I felt really like proud of myself just because it was cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And then learning how to like animate shit with all the tools and stuff.
Well, yeah, we use jQuery to animate it, which is not how you would. No.
I mean, no, obviously, but it's still really like it's still really cool to learn.
What was the? Oh yeah, first assignment was cool because that was remake like a shitty website in like a more modern design.
Yeah.
I took the Adventure Quest website.
I don't even remember what I did.
Have you looked at the Adventure Quest website recently? Because it looks exactly the same that it did like 10 years ago. Have you ever played Adventure Quest?
I don't know.
Why? Play Adventure Quest. Actually, don't play it. It's a bad game.
No, I have not played this.
Damn.
Oh, what the fuck? This is actually like out of 2010.
Yup. How many players are online right now? It used to say. It doesn't say right now. Maybe nobody. Wow, they're still updating it. The most recent update was 5 days ago. What the hell? People are still... Why are they still developing this? Okay.
Why wouldn't you be? The doy.
So this is how... This is how old the game is. The maximum resolution is 1000 by 750.
Bruh.
And I'm pretty sure that's a new feature. That wasn't always there. Oh, so there are it says at the top now, there are 5,000 players online. That's more players than when I played, actually. Wow, okay.
That's more players than a lot of Steam games.
I know. It has a very dedicated community. There's not much game to it. But they're dedicated, I guess. What was I saying? Oh, and then the second assignment was, wasn't it take weather data and then show it on a website?
Yes, that
Yes.
was one of the assignments. Yeah.
Hmm. What do you reckon your favorite class out of all of the classes you did actually was? I don't include the electives because that's not fair. Because I know you did like life drawing.
Yeah, life drawing was awesome.
Not counting life drawing.
Honestly, I reckon IT project. I loved that course. Like
What
the thing I got to do was so
what was your
fun.
project? Because my project was an absolute meme.
I had to design a like a not a program as in computer program, like a week-long
Hmm.
program for work experience
Hmm.
basically. Oh, not even work experience, just like a course for high schoolers to go through
Hmm.
to understand the different parts of like um, IT, so like
Hmm.
programming, designing, like team management and stuff. Yeah, getting like a program for high schools to come through that, get a good grasp
Hmm.
of each of those, and yeah, just expose them to like the world of IT as
Hmm.
a like effort to get them to study it or whatever.
Hmm.
And so yeah, that was really good.
Is that something that ended up actually getting used? Because I know some people did uh, actually did projects that did end up being used in the real world.
Yeah, it got used. Like, so I did it for the Department of Human
Hmm.
Services, and like, yeah, they've actually used it since then, which
Hmm.
is really good. And like, everyone that went through it really enjoyed it, which, I was pretty happy with hearing about that.
Hmm. That's actually good because my one didn't get used. My one was I got the biggest joke project you could ever imagine. Me and Reese got such a great project. Um, so we got a scholarship, which is already a massive thing. But our project that we did was just so shit and so basic. Basically, we had this existing project. It was for showing genomics data in virtual reality, which is stupid. Don't do it.
Hmm.
The code base is a mess as well, and it's not any less of a mess after we left it. Um, Basically, we just had to add a couple of features to it. That's pretty much it. Bruce would be like, hey, we want this thing. Like, okay, we'll add that. Initially he wanted us to do something complicated. Then he realized, like, wait, nah, that's fine. Just get him to do something basic. Get him to do this like thing. Really, the work that we did, because we had a full year project rather than a semester. The work we did, honestly, would have really taken like maybe 2 months at
Hmm.
most.
I just remember like my supervisor person was Grant,
Mm,
and just like we scheduled so many meetings, like how you meant to, like weekly
yeah,
meetings
yeah.
or whatever. He wouldn't turn up to half of them, and then he'd be like on the. I'm pretty sure it's just because like he was so sure that our little group was like doing a good job, and like he wanted to make sure we were doing a good job because it was like a partnership with an actual company. It wasn't
Mm.
just like a like one-off do this for a lecturer
Oh yeah,
thing.
well, we were working with the CSIRO, so
Yeah, but he wanted to make sure the partnership was gonna like keep going after us.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like I think after like the first couple weeks, he was just like, yeah, you guys are gonna be fine. Like,
Hmm.
so he just like stopped coming to meetings and stuff.
Yeah, we had so Andrew was our supervisor, then Bruce was our client. Bruce was like the guy who liaised with CSIRO on the uni's behalf.
Yeah.
Um Bruce is great. I like Bruce. Andrew realized how much of a joke project it was, and he did show up to every meeting, but we'd have our meetings for like basically long enough to make sure that we weren't dead. So
Hmm.
he'd show up just like, oh yeah, you guys working? Like, yep. Okay, good meeting.
See you later. The only thing about IT project I
Hmm.
didn't like is um because of how like big our thing was and how many changes we had to make to it, we
Yeah.
didn't really get a lot of time to do the final document.
Right.
So our group ended up staying up until like 3 or 4 in the morning, just finishing it off. Like, but we still got a HD for that, and I think the the single presentations were so flawed in the way that they wanted them presented. Like, or don't show how you're going to implement it or anything. Don't show us any plans. Like, it was just really weird. And like, oh, don't talk to your other team members about this when you're meant to be working in a team for the whole thing. Make sure you guys don't overlap or anything, or make sure you have it in this exact structure. It was just so bizarre. Like someone was just like, oh, I want this and this and this, but I also want this, even though it contradicts with the first thing.
Yeah, I don't remember what his name was, but there was Bruce and one other, not Bruce, Doug and one other guy marking all of the presentations for us. I don't know if it was the same setup for you guys.
I think so.
Yeah. And Doug was happy with everything. He never really complained about anything. The other guy, every thing he can possibly nitpick, he would nitpick. Okay. He was nitpicking so much stuff that when we did our group presentation, he thought that I think it was like the second group presentation or something. I don't know. Doesn't matter. One of the group presentations, he thought that we had cheated and that Andrew made the presentation for us. It's like, no. Just because it's good doesn't mean we cheated. What do you... Stop.
I got in trouble because apparently my slides design was too boring.
Too software engineer-like?
Well, no, it wasn't that. It was just they were too plain, which is bullshit because I purposely didn't use one of the pre-done PowerPoint thingos because I was like, this looks like shit and does not suit our presentation, whatever. And I went through and did custom slides for all of them. Like, our thing was like, and I also, we had our logo, which is like SDLC in a HTML tag bracket. And it looked really cool. And it was like the colors of, it's like the Centrelink colors, like the blue, green, and yellow. So it looked great, and I took that blue, green, and yellow and did like a gradient of just a nice bar at the top, I think, or something like that. So it looked really nice, but the rest of it was white, and then it had black text with a couple pictures. So it looked really good and really clean. It was super readable, and this guy's like, "It's boring."
My complaint was that it's the same sort of complaint, where it's just like, if these slides look like a software engineer made them, like, yes,
obviously.
Like, I'm not a designer. You're literally asking a software engineer to make these slides. What are you fucking saying?
I'm pretty sure it was either a person in my team or just someone else I was like super close with. They used one of the like PowerPoint thingos to make it more visually interesting, and then they got told off for it being too cluttered and too busy.
He just wanted to
and I saw their slides,
everything.
They were fine. Yeah, and I also got in trouble for putting our logo that we designed into it, because like otherwise it would just literally just be black text. And this guy was just like, you put the implementation of it in the pre-designed PowerPoint. That's actually not okay. I'm like, this isn't implementation. This is our fucking logo that we got told to make by the fucking person, or by the thing, by the project supervisor. Like, come on, my dude. Actually get a fucking stick out of your asshole.
I feel really bad for the people. So my project was development based. I feel bad for, I think it was Kenley's project, because there was one of the presentations you did talk about like features you'd implemented. In your case, you could talk about like the sort of the program you're making. That applies fine. His project was actually just doing a research paper.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like, how do you talk about that? I don't know what he ended up doing, but that was such a mess for course, because they didn't... The problem they had is even though they were the ones that curated the projects that were coming in, they didn't make the projects, or they didn't make sure the projects actually fit the structure of the course. So some people had projects that were massive. Some people had projects like mine. Some people had fucking research papers. Some people had developing like a real world program. There was just no consistency in the way they actually structured it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even with all those problems, it's still my favorite course, just because of the people I got to work with and because of what I got to do. Like that, I think that's a pretty good testament to how good it was, even though all of these problems were scattered throughout it.
How long was your design document? Because I remember mine being very long. Too long, actually.
Like 30 pages or something.
Okay.
That's the second one, isn't it?
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, the good thing about ours is because the program we made was like we designed all of that, so we could basically take that and just chuck it in the design document.
Yep. Mine was, I think, like 110 pages.
Ooh.
They did not like that. They're like, oh, this is too long. Like, nope, it's fine. Because they were like, oh, make sure the project gets documented. This project didn't have documentation before we started. So
disgusting.
We documented it, and we were doing that over the course of the year, not at the end. You guys didn't have to do a research paper on your thing, did you? That was only a final year thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't have to do a research paper.
Yeah, we had to do a research paper, so first semester was designing the project, same thing you guys did. Second semester was just basically doing a research paper.
Okay. That's because you did, your honors.
I did software engineering. I did the advanced one. And it was pain.
Just pain.
Because there wasn't, a recommended word count. There wasn't a minimum word count. There was nothing. It was just, right.
Just right.
So, Andrew, can you give us anything? Because at that point, Andrew actually took over the course from Doug. Just give us something. And we got something. I think he ended up saying something like 3,000 words. No, sorry, it was 3,000 words per person, I think. So I ended up being 6,000.
I remember when I, because I've been doing my book, I just made me, look back on uni assignments and be like, 2,000, that's quite a lot to write. And then, meanwhile, each one of my chapters is, 6,000 words.
Jesus. How's progress coming along with that one?
It's going good. I finished chapter 7 just the other day. It is a bit longer than the other ones. It's 7,500 words, which is why it took a bit longer. And I also went back, edited my first chapter a lot because my writing style in that was a lot different to how it is at this point, because I hadn't really written anything like this before. But I was having this problem, going back through chapter 1, I was I found this thing that I was doing. I was over detailing everything, over explaining everything. Because the house that is in the book is based on a house that I lived in. So I see it perfectly in my mind. And so I was trying to explain every fucking corner, every detail, every piece of furniture. I'm like, bro, I gotta get rid of it. This is no one's going to be able to picture it how I am. And this is just unnecessary detail that no one's gonna remember.
Right.
And so I've also been following this guy on TikTok. He's a writer, and he gives writing tips. And basically, you only want to tell people stuff that's important to their character. So, instead of, say you're describing a character, instead of describing, mundane things they have brown hair, they have pants, you kind of pick, 2 or 3 important character-related things. So you'd say, she has worn out skate shoes.
Yeah.
Because that implies that she's a skater. She doesn't is not concerned with like the quality of issues and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
So just like yeah, I went back and that applies to like houses and locations as well. So like instead of describing oh they have a bed that looks like this, I described oh you have I think the house has like a lot of plants around it because the character's mom really likes plants or something. I don't really exactly remember, but like yeah, just along those lines. So yeah, I went back and did that. And I probably have to do it for the other ones, but just not as much. But also just like going back and adding some stuff in to make sure it's all makes sense. But yeah.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like I'm reading some beautiful trash right now. We have this right here, Adi Fureta, second volume. And it's sort of I definitely can't show the pictures at the start. It sort of reminds you of like how they introduce like some of the characters and how they introduce like some of the areas. Let's see if we can find a bit that actually makes sense. Right, there's this two-headed T-Rex thing. Wait, here we go. Where are they introducing Shia? Am I going to be able to find the part that I think actually fits what I'm trying to say? I don't think I'm going to be able to find the thing that I'm trying to reference.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Wait, no, I'm not finding it. Shit. Ignore my entire point I was trying to make. But, like, I definitely understand the point you're trying to get at with, like, describing things like that. Here we go. So, this bit, they were, like, trying to escape from a labyrinth, going down a secret path. So Hajime and Yue nodded to each other and stepped forward into the passage. They didn't find any forks in the road, so they just kept going. There were a few more sealed doors and traps along the way, but Orcus's ring opened or disabled them all automatically. Both of them were on their guard, but that proved unnecessary as they continued with that instant until finally they spotted a faint light in the distance. So instead of, explaining every fucking turn in the path, explaining the cracks in the wall that don't really matter, you sort of just get to the details that sort of drags the story along.
Yeah. Something else as well is like you can use extreme detail as like a storytelling device. So like if you want, like this is something I've done, if you want it to be like really slow and like just like I was gonna say something else but I just completely forgot it. But yeah, if you want it to be really slow, you can be like, say the character's waiting for something, you can like go ahead and describe everything that they're seeing because it like slows down the pace of the book and you like actually kind of feel like you're just like, oh fuck, I'm waiting for this person to show up.
As they're waiting at the bus stop, they see the countless cars go by. They see this car and that car, and at some point a bicycle car. Explaining the fucking traffic as they're waiting for the bus. Yeah, that's sort of what you're trying to get at, isn't it?
Yeah, just
like, doing it in a better way that is actually well written.
This car and that car.
They see a young mother almost trip over and knock the stroller she's carrying. Things like that.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, baby. Baby flies onto road.
Something else though that I've really liked is like each chapter feels very unique, and I think that's just because like of the way I've told the story. So like the first chapter takes place over a day, but like chapter 2 and 3 they like go over a couple months, and then like the way number 5 is told is like it jumps between the present and the past of that same day, To like I like because I think I said this last time, but I read Harry Potter just before I started doing this. Like, there's a lot of mystery in that, and I really enjoyed, being teased like different little things until it finally all clicks together. So just like using different narrative structures to achieve that, like achieve mystery and tease stuff through that has been really fun.
For anyone who hasn't seen the previous ones, just give a quick rundown of what the book is about.
It's essentially about this girl called it's basically a biography of me, but fictionalized. Um, so it's about a girl called Erica, and she finds this book. When you write stuff in it, it disappears, like it basically absorbs the ink or whatever, and it just remains blank. But after she has like this experience for the first time, it shows up as if she's written it in there. And then just trying to figure out what's going on there. But yeah, I think the book's about like it's about fucking doing drugs and shit, but so it's about that, but it's also about like friendships and stuff, because that's like something that I really struggled with for like a long time, and just kind of hinting, is it the other people's fault, or is it the main character's fault, or is it a bit of both? And just like I think to summarize, drugs, friends, and like drug conversation.
Sure, okay. I don't think you've mentioned that it's a fictionalized biography on the show before.
Okay, well that's what it is.
Okay.
Like it takes I don't know if I said, but when I don't do drugs, okay? But if I were to, I keep notes every time I do it. So like if I am just thinking something, I'll write it down, and I usually do like a bit of a recount afterwards. And so like I have a whole collection of that. So basically,
allegedly.
Allegedly. So I have like this whole collection of stories, and so I've taken all my favorite ones and all the ones that like were impactful and kind of taught me stuff. And I've put them into the book, and used this magical book that the main character finds as like a fictionalization. And obviously everyone's like got different names and they're changed appearances and stuff, and there's like certain details that have been like completely changed, like compared to my life. But yeah, that's the lowdown.
That's the lowdown.
So, yeah.
How long do you reckon? Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm a third of the way done now. So
how long do you think it'll take you to actually get done if you don't, break down and get to halfway through the book and realize the entire thing's horrible and restart?
I hope that doesn't happen.
Get to like 90% done, rewrite the entire thing.
I'm like legitimately happy with all of it so far, which is like
except the first chapter, which you rewrote.
Yeah. Well, I didn't rewrite it. I just edited it a lot.
Fair enough.
But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm really happy with it, which normally doesn't happen with a lot of my stuff that I make. So I think that's a good sign that that I'm not gonna just break down and be like, no, it's disgusting. I need to rewrite all of it. But I've kind of set myself the goal of getting it done by the end of the year. Like the reason why it's taken me like this long so far, I think it's taken me about half a year to write this much, and I think it's only going to speed up from there because I spent a lot of time planning out what I wanted to do and a lot of time finding my writing style, But I have a pretty good idea where it's going from here. So
I'm
yeah, if I could have like a first proper draft done by the end of the year, I'd be happy.
well, I hope that goes well. I for one haven't really done much creative writing at all. It's just I don't know. It's just something that's never really appealed to me, but I can see why it appeals to you. Like judging by like the sort of content you've made on your channel, like you seem to have an interest in trying to tell some sort of story, you know, as well as fucking hijacking my channel and telling a story there as well.
I haven't really told a story. It's just
You're
a
trying to connect it into your own story.
little Easter egg. I was thinking about like I remember when I first came on, I was like, oh, should I continue my character of the one that's on the channel? But I was like, oh no, I can't be fucked.
You actually were considering that.
I was considering it, but like it'd just be too much effort to try and work it into everything else that I already have going with that.
Right.
I still am planning to make more videos. Like I still have like a pretty good plan of the next couple. I just have I don't know, I've had a lot of stuff going on. But I just I also I haven't been really feeling it recently. That's something I thought was funny is like in my book is a lot of the times it talks about the main character trying to force stuff out of the magical book. Like she's like, oh, I'm gonna go get high a bunch of times to try and like get the book to write shit down for me, but it doesn't work for her because she's trying to force it.
Right.
And I found it funny because I'd have that exact same thing happen when I was trying to write it if I wasn't in the right mood. Like trying to write while I wasn't meant to. It was just a slog. I'd get like 2 sentences done. I'm like, nah, fuck this. And I think it's the same with making videos as well. It's like there's been times where I've made videos when I really haven't wanted to, and I think they're my worst videos. So I've kind of just left it. The kind of approach I'm taking now is like I'll make videos when I have the call to it, I guess. I think that's resulted in stuff that's a lot better.
I can certainly respect that approach, but I sort of look at it in the sort of exact opposite way. Got this tweet here from Ben Alward, and he sort of sums up where I stand on it like pretty succinctly. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Is it showing on the screen? Yes, it is. Other than waiting, this is what I do when I get writer's block and can't think of any good ideas. I do a lot of bad ideas. I apply this to code, content startups. Making good content is a prerequisite to making bad content is a prerequisite to making good content.
Yeah, I definitely get that as well. That's like definitely another good approach. Like you just that is a tip I've heard for writing is like just allow yourself to write pure shit and then go back over it afterwards. And I think I have done that a couple times. It's just I'll like switch between the two of them, but I don't think I've really I haven't really done that for my channel though because it's such a tightly connected story. I don't want to have I want to try and not have a bad video in there, especially if it's going to be a really important one in the overarching story.
No, I can certainly get that. With that's why I get your approach. It's just not the way that I like to handle stuff myself. But it is good to see that you are applying that at least to the writing. Because otherwise, you know, you might actually hit a point where even though you have plans it out, you're just not sure how to actually start your plan.
Yeah. Well, I remember I finished my first chapter and I was like, wait, what the fuck? I actually wrote like 6,000 words of a chapter. And yeah, trying to start the second one was really intimidating. But yeah, I kind of like let myself do a bit of a janky job and then fixed it afterwards. And yeah, going forward from that was fine.
I'm sure like there has to be like some like level of intimidation you have where now you see like there's what 21,000 words, something like that. Actually, no, sorry, more than that, like 28,000 if you've got 7 chapters. Like going back and like having to read and edit that, like must, as time goes on, as more and more gets added to it, must get more and more overwhelming.
Yeah, of course, and like making sure everything makes sense and like linking stuff from, well, like making sure that stuff that's alluded to in the first couple chapters is like starting to pay off. Like making sure all of that makes sense, and yeah, having to go back and read through a bunch of stuff, it does get a bit intimidating. Yeah.
How so? I'm sure you probably don't have it formatted in like the sort of book style yet, but if it was, how many pages would it end up actually being, as it currently stands? Do you reckon?
Well, I think each chapter is about 12 A4 pages.
Right.
And so I've been told. Oh, I saw a thing, that basically you kind of just rotate it and then you split it into 2 columns, like landscape wise. So you'd end up having about double the amount. That doesn't account for like the kind of more special formatting for like if you have notes or stuff written in there. But yeah, I've kind of just gone for like a double, so probably like just an estimate of like 20 to 25 pages each chapter. So like, yeah, it'd be close to 200 pages now.
Yeah, it might. I think I'm onto something with it being a little overwhelming to go back and edit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Well,
actually, if maybe more like 170-ish.
Jeez. I'm happy to see that it's coming along because you've been working on this for quite a while. You hadn't started it when we did the first episode, had you?
Of the podcast?
Yeah.
No, I started this probably around December.
Okay. So I don't know what episode we would have been on. Well, this is episode 70. So yes, so probably around like 40 or so, I reckon.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You've made a lot of progress then.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure I am making good progress because I know books like if you're not an established writer that can just like smash stuff out, I'm pretty sure writing a book properly takes like anywhere from a year to 2 years. So I think I am on pretty good track with where I'm at.
So you said it was going to be, you say 10 chapters? 11 chapters?
21.
21? Oh, okay, I was completely wrong. That's going to be a little long.
Yeah.
Well, that would, okay, so that would be somewhere in the range of like, what, close to 500 pages at that point, wouldn't it? Wait, my maths is completely off.
What is 21 times 5? No, not wait, no, 21, not 21. I'm fucking broken. Let me just get the old calculator up.
Maths.
20 times 21, so about 420 pages.
Okay.
So yeah, 400 to 500 pages, I'm guessing. Like, the next chapter I'm doing is going to be a bit shorter. Just.
Are you going to make it end on 420 pages?
No. I don't know how, like, that'd be so annoying to do, because you also have to consider, like, the shit the publisher would want to put at the front and the backs of the book.
That would just be good for the meme, though.
It would be a good meme.
Have you looked more into, like, how you would possibly get something like that published?
Not yet. I kind of wanted to just have a draft of it first before I looked into it or approached anywhere with it. Just to be like, hey, I've actually done it. You can trust me. I'm not gonna like write 2 chapters and then give up. but I know that you can self-publish through like Amazon and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Hail Jeffrey. Um, so if getting it actually published didn't work out, I think that's what I would end up doing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, I know there's a lot of authors do go through that approach because either they aren't an established author or for whatever reason, no author really wants to touch them. They're like maybe like some sort of sensitive political figure or something like that, and that just seems like an approach that just sort of works. I don't know what the cost would be like on that or anything like that. Like how much you would need to sell for it to actually for them to even let you do it, because I'm sure you couldn't just like sell one copy and have it done like that.
yeah, no,
But
I'm not sure. But my ultimate goal is to like be able to like go into Dimmicks or something and see my book there. Like that'd be fucking so sick. That's my goal, and I like this is something I'm doing as more of a hobby passion project thinger. So like I know publishers leech like a lot of money from you, but for this specific book, I really do not give a shit about money. Like if I want to keep writing afterwards, I think then I'd care. But like yeah, this is a story that I've wanted to get out for like the longest time. Like because I've been writing those notes down of my experiences since like the end of high school. So like easily 5 years of just stuff that and like throughout that time I've thought about different ways I wanted to tell it. I was like initially I wanted to do like a comic or like a graphic novel of it. And I had like I was planning I think I did a couple pages of like sketches and stuff, and I was like I don't think I can do this. This is gonna take so long.
because you like if obviously you could tell a lot of like the world building stuff through imagery, but even so, let's say it was 200 pages.
Yeah, that's far too long. Like, and like I, the thing is, if I did do it as a drawing, I'd want it to be in my style as well. So wait, I don't know how much of my art you have seen.
You've sent me stuff that you've done for people. I don't know if you've got something specific in mind.
I'll get my DeviantArt up and just send it to you.
I don't think you've sent me your DeviantArt before.
Supercozman.
Yay. I'm waiting for the link.
Yeah, so it's
So good.
how do I go on my profile?
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun. I don't know if I'm going to DMCA for that one. She'll be fine.
No, 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 no.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
no.
God.
Oh.
You sent DeviantArt. Beautiful. Thank.
There you go.
That was very helpful. Oh, no. Don't show me that one.
Go into the gallery tab, I think, and then just scroll down.
Let me just put it on the correct window. There we go. Whoop, that one. Go into gallery. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you've sent me a lot of these.
Yeah.
But
so
there's
like,
definitely a lot that weren't here.
Excluding like the Bolin one. I'd probably want to, and the more you scroll down, the more like detailed portraits there are. I'd probably want to do that kind of style for the if I were to do like a graphic novel thing. Just because like that's just like how I enjoy drawing, and I'd want the style to be like unique and stuff. But oh my god, that would just take far too long.
Yeah, I can see some of them in here, like the Walter White one. I can't imagine how long that took to draw, because there's a lot of very small detail in there.
That one and the the Adam Savage and Michael Stevens
Ah,
one,
yeah.
that took so fucking long. Like if you click on it and zoom in, you can see how much detail I actually put into that.
Oh Jesus, I can see. Oh jeez, it's not just the wrinkles. They're like, wow. Okay.
If you look at Adam's hair, like
Hmm.
there's a lot of shit in there.
Jesus. Yeah. This. Also some nice color work under his eyes as well. Yeah. I can see why this would take a while.
Yeah, so I'd probably want it to maybe not be that detailed, but
Mm-hmm.
like if you go back to all of them,
Mm.
there's a self-portrait of me in black and white. I think it should be. I don't know. Uh, it's next to the spiral thing.
Not next to the spiral. If you full screen. The.
Is this called self-portrait 4?
Oh, okay. Yep. Self portrait 4. Okay, easy.
So it'd probably end up being like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't. Yeah. So like that much detail,
Mm-hmm.
which yeah, I think would just be a little bit too much. That
Mm.
that is definitely, if I were to do that, that is definitely something I would get burnt out on. Like I haven't been burnt out by writing the book, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just yeah, I know having to draw that much would just kill me.
Yeah. I can see why. I just realized your camera's been like half off the screen the entire time. Now it's more centered.
Or rest in peace.
She'll be right. Uh, oh, it's much better. Now you're actually on the screen properly. I also had like your camera like half under the screen as well.
Oh, thank you.
So you looked even shorter than you do right now. Yeah, that would take a long ass time. Like, I'm sure you, if you really put the effort in, you could automate parts of your art style, but I'm sure you'd want to make sure it's exactly the way you want it to be.
Yeah, I mean, if this is like something I think I learned from someone I used to follow
Mm-hmm.
is if you have like if you're drawing a comic
Mm-hmm.
and you have a area that is in it a lot, so like the main house, you can 3D model the
Yeah, yeah.
house and then like just trace over it.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of artists that do that. Not sometimes it's not even for like a full 3D environment. Sometimes it's more like giving them a reference of where things should be. Like they'll use just placeholder objects.
Yeah.
I can see how that would certainly be helpful. I'm sure someone would
Um,
complain like that's not a pure way to draw it, but at the end of the day, if you're doing something like that, you would need to just get it done. And I can't see any other way you would really get that done.
no, like it's take too long. And like there are people that have like projects like that and they
Mm.
stick to it and they get them done, which is like really impressive. But I just know that's not really in my capability at the moment.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, that seems like the book seems like a much better approach.
Yeah.
So if you were to do a second project after this, what would you do? Or do you just have no idea at this stage?
Like a writing
Yeah, second
project.
writing project. Second book,
Um,
if you will.
I don't think I'd do. Sorry, I don't think I'd do something as long as this.
Mm-hmm.
I'd definitely do something more in the realms of like 200 pages, or I'd do like three smaller stories,
Mm-hmm.
like all put together. I think that's where I'd end up going. And I have a couple of ideas of like settings and topics that I'd like to explore, but I'm sure that would come with its own challenges because, uh, something easy about something, a benefit of the book I'm doing at the moment is I can draw so much from real life.
Yeah, yeah.
But I know if I um, did something else, I'd have to make up a lot more. I'd probably still take experiences and stuff from my life and like apply them to a completely different setting and whatever. But yeah, I'm sure it would be a lot harder because yeah, I can draw on direct experiences.
I don't really know what to say about that. I don't have any. The extent of my creative writing is like, hey, write a 100-word story in primary school.
Yeah. I remember even in high school in like year 10, I think that was the last time I did English. Like, I remember writing like 500 words being like so hard and such a chore.
I think it's the same thing with anything in school, really, where you don't really care about it.
Yeah, true.
Like, as I said earlier, I'm learning Japanese right now. If I was doing that in school, because I did learn German for like a year in primary school, I hated it. It was mind-numbingly boring.
Yeah.
But being in control of what you wanna learn and where you wanna focus, I think if you do that in a way that you put your focus on something you have passion in, I think you can really get yourself to actually spend the time on it.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Well, prime example, like I like it didn't even like occur to me how like I was basing my chapter lengths off of Harry Potter chapter lengths
Yeah,
because I was
yeah.
like I really like that compared to like other books I've read, like they can go on for way too long. I really liked, 20-ish pages is just about enough to like, if you were to start reading when you went to bed, you'd get sleepy by the last couple pages and you're like, okay, I've read a whole chapter. That was nice. And so, yeah, so I based it off of that. And yeah, by the time I made it to 6,000 words, I was like, wait, what the fuck? That was easy as.
Yeah, I remember when I mean, the first time I had to do like 1,000-word essay. That was so insane. Then like once you, I think having to write like 3,000-word things in uni sort of does, it gives you a better understanding of like what you're like, the fact that you can just write more. It's just a matter of whether what you're writing about actually has that much to be said about it.
Yeah, I think that was a problem though with some of the assignments. Was like it'd be like write 2,000 words, but you can't really say it in about 1,000.
Yeah, I definitely do remember a lot of that. A lot of it was sort of like just sort of ramble for the sake of expanding it out, but ramble in a way that they like. So
Yeah, which is it's really dumb.
Yeah, basically explain the crinkles in the curtain, but explain it in a researchy way.
The geometric protrusion of this curtain. No, but like I don't know why stuff isn't more so marked on actual the quality of what you've written instead of meeting an arbitrary word limit.
Yeah.
I know. I'm pretty sure some lecturers were like, "This is just a guide of how many words you don't actually need to write this much." But the other ones be like, "If I don't see exactly 2,000 words, one word more, one word less, I am going to come to your house and kill your mother."
There actually were lecturers who were like, "Yeah, it has to be like 10%, within 10% of 2,000." Just like, no, stop. I understand having a max word limit. That does make sense to me because they've got so many assignments to mark. Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
But sure, if you can say everything in 500 words, like if it's as good or better than what would be at 2,000, I don't think that should be looked down on.
Yeah, exactly. Just woes of the education system.
Yeah, we can complain about the education system all day, I feel like. But I've got some. So one of the topics on here is finding meaning in your life. I feel like there's a lot of people out there who don't really give themselves anything to work towards. So when you have people who feel like they are sort of just spinning in the mud, not really getting anywhere, I feel like that's very much due to the fact there's a lot of people who just don't give themselves something to work towards. So I can't imagine like working a full-time job for someone else's company being really that fulfilling. Sure, you might enjoy your job, but like you're not building something that is really yours.
Yeah, well, that's why people have like midlife crises, because they've been working the same job for like 5 to 10 years, and they realize they're like, "What the fuck am I doing?" Like they hadn't reflected on their life before then, and it gets to that point where they're just like, "Wait a second, I'm 40. I've been doing the same shit for 10 years. Fucking, I hate my job, hate my life, hate my wife." And they're just like, time to go buy a sports car.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of old people around here who own sports cars. But I've noticed this a bit with my housemates as well, where they're both getting up there. That like I think the youngest is 35 or something like that, and you can see like she's clearly not got anything really going for her in her life. She sort of just goes to work, come home, has some jacks, goes to bed, goes to work, comes home. Just repeat that cycle every single day. But it's not like you have to have like some, you don't have to be like building a business or something like that. You could be just, you have to be doing something, just anything at all. Otherwise, I don't think you're really going to, I don't think you can really, I don't know how long you can really just spend doing nothing in your life.
No, it really is awful. Like, after uni, I like basically had a year before I realized what I wanted to do with myself, and like, taking some time for that has been helpful, because I finally do actually know what I want. Like, I don't want to work a 9 to 5 job. I don't want to work for someone else. I don't want a job like that. I want to be creative. I want to do my own thing, be in charge of what I'm doing. But also, like, a lot of that time that I spent was literally just doing nothing, being fucking depressed. And like, yeah, if you're not doing something of substance, it doesn't have to be having a job. It doesn't have to, like, it can literally be like, oh, I'm working on myself. I'm going, like, I'm implementing this exercise routine or something.
I think that is why there's a lot of people out there who get really addicted to going to the gym, because it's a simple thing you can dedicate yourself to.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but like, yeah, when you aren't doing anything, you just, it worsens itself. Like, you would think, oh, I'm just, and this isn't the same as taking like a week off to yourself after you've been working for a while. Like, after I finished uni, I was like, yeah, I deserve a bit of a break. That wasn't included in this time I'm talking about. It's more so just like weeks after weeks after weeks of not doing anything, just stagnating. And yeah, you end up spiraling down this hole that you need to like eventually climb yourself out of, which is, yeah. Yeah, but like having a routine, having something that you're working towards is what stops that from happening.
It is difficult for some people to think in sort of like a long-term goal like that. You can definitely see when someone has issues with that, because they're the sort of person who probably will go home and just not really do something that doesn't really push them towards anything. They'll just go for like the sort of simplest satisfaction they can get. Whereas then, like my sister, for example, she was like this for a while, but she realized, because after she dropped out of high school, she just worked for like a year or so and did nothing but that, and realized she actually should go back and finish adult schooling. Now she's going to uni and doing a biology degree. And like she's now thinking more of that like long term, like, okay, I have this goal in the future that I want to get to. I think she wants to be a lab assistant.
Yeah.
And
I like.
oh, sorry.
Sorry.
I go on what you're saying.
I was just gonna say I like that kind of goal making. I hate hearing like, oh, what's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? Like that is so stupid.
Someone
like,
asked me if I'm going to be doing YouTube in 5 years. Like, I don't fucking know. Don't ask me that question.
I think the better way to think of it is having a realistic, like, I've heard people say this as well. You have like a bit of a short time goal that you want to get done by the end of the month, and then you have a 1-year goal. And then you have a 1-year goal, like that's proportional to that kind of size. Like you don't actually have to get it done by the end of the year. You just have to work towards that kind of goal that's that big. I think that's a lot healthier than being like, in 5 years I'm gonna own a business, I'm gonna own 10 cars. I don't fucking know, a bit of a tangent.
Well, the problem, no, it's sort of where we're going. The problem with the short term goals, I think this is where a lot of people stop, is once they hit the short term goal. This, as you mentioned, sort of happened with the chapter you were writing. That when you wrote the first chapter, now the first chapter's done, but there's still this massive goal in front of you to sort of get to. Like, it's the same thing with like weight loss. If you're trying to like lose, trying to lose 20 kilos, for example, once you lose that first 5, you've made progress, but it doesn't feel like you've made that much progress.
Yeah. That's something else as well. Is like being able to take that more long-term goal and then breaking it into smaller ones. Yeah.
Aiden, for example, doesn't have much of a goal. I like to bring up Aiden as a great example of what not to do.
Yeah, it's a bit rough.
I don't. Okay.
Should
I
have him on the podcast sometime.
That would be fun. I don't think there's anything wrong with dedicating. Like, this is something that I feel like a lot of people. There's a lot of people who do have a problem with this. Dedicating yourselves like to playing video games. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think the problem you get with dedicating yourself to video games is there's a lot of people who just play the games to sort of waste the time away. If you're, say, playing Apex, for example, and you've actually got yourself a goal there, you're like, I want to get to X rank this season. I think that can actually be that same sort of meaning that can come from learning a language or can come from writing a book, but I don't think you're going to get that from just being like, I'm just going to play a match of League today and I hate this game and I hate myself. I know people like that, or like, I'll just play some FIFA and roll some or get some cards and that's all I'm going to do. Don't really have a sort of an end goal in mind. It's just like make it happen, basically.
Yeah. And like going off of that, you don't need to have a goal that is a traditional goal. Like you don't have to be like, you don't have to get a job. That's something that's
you should probably get a job.
I mean, you probably should, but like it's something that's so ingrained into us from like such a young age but that doesn't have to be like your 1 year. That doesn't have to be your long-term goal. It can literally be anything as long as you're treating it as more of like a hobby-ish type kind of thing instead of like an escape or time wasting thing. That's the difference between what you were saying about the video games. Like
the video games.
Those video games. Yeah, but that's the difference. Is like playing like a match of League just to fucking escape for like an hour is much different from like, I want to get to X rank and go to Apex.
Or I don't know, whatever games people are playing. Escape from Tarkov, I don't know.
Whatever the cool kids are playing.
I know there's like a new season of COD starting soon. I don't fucking know. Because the
I
COD is now like a battle royale as well or something.
Yeah, I haven't paid attention to games for a while. I've been playing a game called SNKRX. It's look it up on Steam.
Okay.
It's like Snake, but it's like have you ever played? Oh fuck, what was that game called? Geometry Wars.
No, but I've seen gameplay of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like Snake mixed with Geometry Wars, mixed with stuff from Auto Chess.
Huh. This looks
Bas-
really cool.
Yeah, basically you build your snake with these different units, and they all have different abilities, and they all synergize with each other. So you're trying to like make a good team out of your snake, and then you drive it around, and that's kind of like the similarity between Geometry Wars, because like the stuff like spawns and you have to kill it with your dudes.
This looks pretty cool, actually.
It's only $4.50, I believe.
$4.50 Australian, so I don't know, like a tour in the US probably.
A tour.
A tour. It's probably like $2 or so, $2.50 in the US.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. And it's really fun.
That does look kind of cool. Honestly, I mainly play indie stuff at this point. There's a couple of like non-indie titles I've been playing, like there we go. Got a Kingdom Hearts right here, playing that on stream. I've also been playing a lot of Dead Cells as well. Dead Cells is really fun and fucking hard. So every time, basically Dead Cells is a roguelike game, and every time you beat the final boss, you unlock a harder difficulty, up to like the 5th difficulty, which is stupidly hard. I've beaten the final boss twice now. So basically what happens when you beat the final boss is there's more enemies and you get less heals. So before you beat the boss, you get full healed after every single area. Then after that, you get full healed after every couple of areas. Now I'm down to you get 1 extra potion after each area, which means the difficulty fucking gets higher. And then the bosses also have more health as well. And it's fun. It's very fun. It's very similar in that respect to something like Hades. But God, that I enjoy that. So a couple of guys on my Discord have been trying to get me to play Celeste, which is a platformer in the same vein as like Super Meat Boy.
Yeah, I've wanted to play Celeste for the longest time. I just have never bought it.
I'm considering playing it fairly soon because it looks really cool.
Yeah. I really like Dead Cells. I haven't played it for like a long time.
Oh, yeah, you actually have played Dead Cells. Okay.
Yeah, wait, I'll see how many hours I have. I think I have like 20 hours on it or something. But I played it when it was still in beta. So it is a lot different than what it is now. Yeah, I've played 25 hours of it.
Okay. I think I've played 43 with like 13 the past week or something.
So 11 played recently.
Honestly, it's really hard to find time to actually play games now.
What else? Oh my god, you've played 364 hours of Adventure Capitalist. I am disgusted.
Wait, me?
Yes.
Oh, you're looking at my Steam profile, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the game I played the most of?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, to be fair, I've probably left that game like on overnight many times.
Yeah, you would have.
It is Adventure Capitalist. But it's not the game I've played the most of. That would probably go to RuneScape. I wouldn't be surprised if that's in like the 2,000 or 3,000 hour mark.
I want to know the stats for my Minecraft and also for Little Big Planet. Because those would easily be my 2 most played games. Like,
I've never played Little Big Planet.
It's it was really good. Like I don't think many people play it anymore, but especially number two was very amazing. That was like basically all I played when I got a PS3. Um, yeah, that's all I'd play until I got Minecraft, and then that became the new obsession. So yeah,
Little Big
but my
Planet was
most
one of the launch titles for PS3, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was a launch title or not.
Anyway, just keep going with your story. I'm gonna check.
I was just gonna say, like, my most played Steam game is Counter Strike. I played 942 hours of that, but I reckon, yeah, those two games would easily beat that.
Maybe I was wrong. Okay. I thought it was. So, PlayStation 3 launch titles. Blast Factor, never heard of that one. Call of Duty 3. This is such a shit lineup of games. No wonder the PS3 didn't sell at the start. Madden NFL 07. Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire, that's actually a decent enough game. NBA 07 and also NBA 2K7. Are those different games?
I have no idea.
Oh, Need for Speed Carbon, but that also came out on literally everything else. Resistance Fall of Man, Ridge Racer 7, Tony Hawk's Project 8, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 07, and Untold Legends Dark Kingdom. Wow, why did this console not sell well? It's a mystery.
Like the PS4 also didn't have like the best launch titles.
Well, yeah, it didn't have many exclusives. So the only well, it had Knack, that was one.
Like Killzone.
Yeah, Killzone. We also had Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which was on everything. Battlefield 4 also on everything. Blacklight Retribution, which I don't think anyone ever played. The worst Call of Duty game ever made, Call of Duty Ghosts.
Wow.
Contrast, DC Universe Online, FIFA 14, Flower.
Flower's cool, but that was a PS3 game.
Is that by the same devs as Journey? Or am I thinking of another game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, cool. Injustice Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition. Here's a banger. Just Dance 2014.
Oh, let's go.
Knack I mentioned. Lego Marvel Superheroes. Madden NFL 25. NBA 2K14. Need for Speed Rivals, where the game started going into the shitter. Resogun. Sound Shapes. Super Motherload. Trine 2 Complete Story. Trine 2 was already out on PC years ago. And Warframe, already also out years ago on PC. Wow, what a great lineup. PS5 at least has some cool stuff. Like the new Spider-Man game, for example.
I mean, that's on the PS4 as well, though.
Right, but it's going to look better on PS5.
Yeah. I mean, like, Bloodborne, like, when did PS4 come out? 2014?
2013, November. It's close enough.
Yeah. Well, Bloodborne came out in 2015. I think that was the main seller for that.
Yeah.
I know it was for me, like, yeah, Bloodborne was like the reason why I got my PlayStation. Very good reason. That game is amazing.
What did I buy? I think, yeah, that was part of the reason I bought it. Also, I don't remember why else. I've got a bunch of games on my shelf. I don't remember what I bought when I bought the console. Oh, Kingdom Hearts 3. That had just come out when I wanted to buy the PS4.
Fair enough.
That's how long I waited to buy PS4. I don't know. I always tend to buy consoles towards the end of the generation. Like, well, in the case of the PS2, I didn't buy that one. That was a Christmas present. But that I got, I think, like 2 or so years before the PS3 came out. And then PS3 I bought like 2 years before the PS4 came out. Which is always kind of a good time to buy the console, to be honest. Because most of the good games are already out by that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, sure, you're going to have a lot of new titles that are going to be exclusive on the next gen, but there's so many games, like especially the PS2. There's so many games to play that like, do you need to play the newest stuff? Not really. Like I
No,
don't play multiplayer
it's
stuff.
yeah. If you don't play multiplayer stuff, you don't actually need to worry about it. Like you can
Mm.
just experience those new games later on.
Like I've got a copy of Neo on my shelf that I have not played, and I've got a copy of Neo, Nier Automata that I still need to play. Um, at some point I'll get to them. I know they're very good games.
I played the beta of Neo, but
Mm.
it didn't really get into it that much.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's just because I like Bloodborne so much.
Yeah, fair enough. I actually haven't finished Bloodborne. Think I've only got like maybe 2 hours into that game. I
think.
I was playing it like back when we were just getting into like final year or something, so I was starting to get busy.
Mm-hmm. I have played. I was looking at my saves because they have like how many hours you played on each. I think one of my saves has 200 plus hours, and then like I have like a bunch of other ones that have like 40 to 60.
Jesus, that's too much. That's just too much.
Sekiro is also a good game,
Mm.
made by From Software. I really enjoyed that.
Mhm.
It was a lot different from Bloodborne and Dark Souls, but I really enjoyed that, and I definitely want to play that again.
That's another game that I need to get around to at some point. It looks like a lot of fun. Like everything I've seen about it just looks really cool.
Yeah, the combat is like incredibly satisfying to play. Just like, yeah, just deflecting hits and shit. It's just like, because you have to have your timing so good, and just like the sound design when you like reflect on it's just like, it's just, oof. Yeah.
I can't even think of probably the last time I played any of like the Soulsborne games or like like anything in like the Soulsborne franchise. What really was that last 2 hours I played of Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I still haven't finished Dark Souls 3 either.
I like Dark Souls 3, but the settings were a little bit boring.
From what I've
Didn't
seen, it does a
capture
better
the
job
same
than 2.
magic. Yeah, I could not finish 2. I just wasn't enjoying it. But yeah, number 3 is good, but it just doesn't have the same magic as the first one.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's just something so magical about the first one, just like discovering this fucking weird place.
I think 1 did the best job at having a connected world.
Yeah.
2 did a horrible job at it. Like, there's this one video, I don't know if I've shown you this video, but when you go, you know how there's that castle with like lava and stuff in it?
Vaguely.
Yeah, okay, I don't know if you got far enough, but the way the world was connected was really strange. So you start in like this forest area, it's raining, and you walk through this cave that's like maybe 10 meters long, and then the sky completely changes. All of the world just looks completely different. It's like, really? Like, are you really just using this as like a loading screen, basically? Like Dark Souls 1, you could go from the main hub area and go down to like Blighttown, and if you leave Blighttown, like you can make your way back up, and all the areas like sort of like naturally feed back into the main area.
Yeah.
Like the place with like the big armored pig, the first time you see one. Where there's the dragon on the bridge.
Yeah, Undead Berg.
Yeah. Like, at the end of that, when you go through the church, you can, like, open up the elevator and go back down to the starting area.
It's very cool.
Like, it looks like you've traveled so far away, but in reality, you're just really around the corner.
No, I love that. Speaking of loading screens, though, I did replay Jak and Daxter 1, like, a week or so ago. It was good fun, as always, but, like... that game is really cool for hiding its loading screens and having a world that's all connected. Like, you can go from the start of the game to the end whenever you want.
Yeah, like, most of the hidden loading screens are hidden behind like a cutscene. Like when you go to it's called Misty Islands.
Yeah, Misty Island. It's like not even a cutscene though. It's just like the way the camera focuses. Like you get in a boat, and the camera focuses on the boat, so it can allow the rest of it to render in.
Yeah, I think most of the Jack games, no, I think all of them actually. Well, with the exception of
One
the
to
weird
three.
ones, ignoring Lost Frontier or Jack X, those just didn't exist. Jack X is fun, but we'll ignore that one for now. Yeah, Jack 2 and Jack 3, especially Jack 3, because you went between Haven City and the desert place.
Whatever.
Spargus?
Yeah, Spargus.
Yeah. Like, it would use the, like, the ride in the airship as, like, a loading screen for that. Or when you say, actually, because that desert was massive.
Yeah.
There had to have been, like, hidden loading screens, or I guess hidden ways to load stuff. There's a lot of mountains there, so they could have definitely made use of those mountains to load stuff behind.
Yeah. No, I like that. It's something that I haven't seen in a long time, like hidden loading screens. I think it just adds a lot for not like it's not really that big of a thing. In terms of like the playing experience, but it just makes it feel better.
I'd argue against that on the PS3 with like Skyrim, for example, with its 5-minute loading screen in some cases.
Oh no, I'm saying I would prefer there to not be loading screens.
It's less of an issue now because the next gen console, I guess they're current gen now, whatever. The PS5 and Series X, they have M-SATA drives, so they load basically instantly.
Yeah.
But because games are getting bigger and bigger, it's still an issue in a lot of cases.
I mean, it is still a thing though, because like take something for Last of Us, or 2, or Uncharted 4. I know they like very seamlessly blend the cutscene back into the gameplay, which is really cool. So they don't have that kind of loading screen unless you're going in between like the big chapters.
You actually can sort of do that now. Now that sort of like the in-engine stuff actually looks like what the actual gameplay does as well.
Yeah.
You look at like, you know, I don't know. I've been playing Kingdom Hearts, for example. Kingdom Hearts 1, it looks a little shit.
Rest in peace, Kingdom Hearts.
Little bit dated. Granted, it is 19 years old.
Quite a long time.
Yeah, a little bit. But Final Fantasy is like even worse for it. Like the early like
yeah, I've seen
anything past like 7. 7 especially, because you know PS1 graphics.
Well, I don't know about you, but I reckon I'm happy to end it.
Yeah, all good, man. I was thinking of maybe ending at some point anyway. Cool. Do you have a channel that you think people should go check out?
Channel.
I've got one. If you don't, I can do mine first.
Oh yeah, you go first.
I'm gonna say, go check out Dr. K's channel. Go check out Healthy Gamer GG. He is a psychiatrist who sort of focuses on a lot of he does his stuff on Twitch. So he talks to a lot of Twitch streamers and sort of goes to a lot of people's sort of like the issues they're having. Talks about a lot of the problems a lot of gamers sort of have in like when it comes to mental issues.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's got a really, really good channel. I highly recommend it. Yeah, very much check it out. He also has a charity where, yeah, he uses the charity to help people, which is cool. So if you like his stuff and you like what he wants to do, go support his charity as well. As for you, do you have a one for yourself?
I guess sticking with alleged drug use. There's this channel that I've watched for the longest time. I really enjoy him, and it's probably like a good way to get introduced to like drugs that won't kill you. But wait, I'll send a specific video to you.
Okay.
Okay, let me copy, please. But the channel name is Psyched Substance.
That name rings a bell.
It's like a...
Hello, guys.
Yeah, I might have mentioned him before.
No, it's a different channel. Okay.
But I enjoy his videos, and the video I sent is very cool. It's like a pretty accurate visual representation of what it's like to not that I would know, of course, to try said substance that's in the title.
That sounds like a cool channel.
But yeah, I like it. Anyway, 1 second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I've seen a channel similar to this that, but they're just not doing stuff anymore.
I don't, I like never buy merch, but this is like the only channel I've ever bought merch from. It's like it's a hooded blanket with pockets, and it has all different kinds of psychedelic mushrooms on it.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
But it's so soft and so nice. But yeah, I recommend him if you are interested in exploring illegal substances.
Well, it might not be illegal where you are. They're illegal here. You could be in a...
I honestly don't know if LSD is legal anywhere.
I think it might be in some weird places in Europe. But anyway,
I know mushrooms are becoming a medical thing slowly, which is cool.
Yeah, for PSD treatment. PTSD.
Yeah, it's PTSD and like other stuff. But MDMA is primarily used for PTSD because of how good it makes you feel. Used in a clinical setting, like with a psychologist and stuff, you can take that and think about your PTSD triggering things, and it kind of puts a new light onto them, which I think is really interesting.
That's cool. I think it's been a while since I've watched Joe Rogan's podcast, but I vaguely recall Joe Rogan talking about that because
Yeah, he probably would have.
Joe Rogan. Have you tried DMT? We'll do some DMT.
That's crazy, man.
It's
entirely possible.
I haven't watched Joe since the podcast went on to Spotify.
Yeah, I haven't really been listening to many podcasts at all. 1 second. Like I used your solo episodes to fall asleep a couple times though.
Wow. Wow, that's insulting.
But there is a podcast that I haven't listened to in a while, but I really enjoy, called Duncan Trussell Family Hour.
Oh yeah, no, I do know about that one.
Like yeah, he's been on Joe Rogan a lot of times, and his podcast is good. And I don't know if I've talked about Midnight Gospel.
Yes, you have.
Okay, yeah. So like the show is based off of those podcasts. So very nice to listen to. If you're not in fucking Joe Rogan mood.
Yeah, I don't listen to too many podcasts at this point. When I do, I usually listen to like Sean Carroll's Mindscape, which is like a science podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. I usually just listen to music when I'm out doing stuff now.
Yeah, same.
Anyway, I think that's where we're gonna end it then.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Find my YouTube channel called Cozhan, Cozhan, or anywhere else I am, just Supercozman.
Cool. If you're listening to the audio version of this, the video version is available on YouTube and Odyssey. The audio version is available basically anywhere. I have got my main channel, Brodie Robertson, where I do Linux videos. I have a gaming channel called Brodie Robertson Plays, where I live stream games twice a week. Also upload YouTube shorts, which I just clip out from the actual stream itself. Yeah, that should be pretty much everything, I think. Anything else to say?
How our Lord Jeffrey Bezos.
Jeffrey Bezos. I don't think anyone's ever called him Jeffrey Bezos.
Jeffrey Bezos.
Jeffrey Bezos.